3 weeks after the mob of people entered the Capitol and caused so much damage and brought fear to those working inside the building, there are still angry voices being heard. I'm not talking about the voices of those arrested and charged with crimes, but rather the vocal representatives of the various wings of the church. I'm especially concerned that terms like liberal and fundamental and progressive and evangelical get bandied around and used in pejorative ways. Especially concerning are the associations that are made with the various labels. Despite what some commentators may say, evangelicals are not to be demonized. In my mind, the term religious right has always been vague, nebulous, and somewhat insulting towards the tens of millions of evangelical voters who are most often counted among its ranks. Evangelical voters are as diverse as any other voting bloc. The religious right as a movement, represented by organizations such as the Moral Majority and the Christian Coalition, never received evangelical voters' ubiquitous support. Many Christian organizations define themselves by what they believe and only accept those who sign up to their set of beliefs. Even in the broader church context, there is no mention of love or hope or joy in the Christian creeds. No thought of actually doing anything. And very little attention is given to any of these in most lists of beliefs. So compare that with Jesus' declaration that everything hangs on the two great commandments. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind and with all your strength. And love your neighbor as yourself. This doesn't just ask for an intellectual response, it demands a commitment of the whole person. It requires a radical change in priorities and a new way of life. Focusing on beliefs can lead us to see faith as a matter of intellectual argument, of clashes between scientific discoveries and biblical tradition, of how a loving God relates both to the violence in the Old Testament and to modern-day suffering, of what is to be understood literally and what metaphorically and spiritually. The essential things, the realities, the blessings, the consolation, the life-changing commitment, and the mystery of everyday faith gets lost amidst all the words. The best evidence for the truth of Christianity has never been intellectual reasoning. It has always been in the lives that have been transformed by faith. You don't find many atheists challenging what Jesus had to say about the importance of power of love, or questioning the role of faith played in the lives of Martin Luther King or Mother Teresa, or perhaps the person in the gutter who turned his life around, or the despairing woman who finds hope. Faith in its full meaning is active. It's about making a loving commitment, trusting and being faithful. Faith is so much more than an intellectual assent to religious propositions. It is more a spiritual adventure than a state of mind, a vision, a way of life rather than a creed. Faith is not static. Just as we progress intellectually and emotionally, we develop spiritually. Jesus calls us to follow me. This must involve movement and action and development. Faith is our personal relationship with God. Beliefs are our best, but always inadequate, attempts to describe that relationship in words. As the old saying goes, if you were put on trial for being a Christian today, would there be enough evidence in your life to convict you? Shalom to you, my friend.